Welcome back, guys, to Simple Joys Homeschool. My name is Brianna. I am a homeschool mom to 3 in 4th grade, 1st grade, and preschool. And this week I wanted to do a plan with me. As you can see, it starts out like anybody would on any sort of planner. You write in the days of the week, the dates, and your subject areas, subcategories. Up at the top, I write my kids' names and a couple of different subjects that we have, like calendar time and extras, things like that. And because our weeks really do look a lot similar, especially by this time of year when we've gotten into the groove of things, it's really a matter of just plugging and chugging and seeing where we left off from the week prior. So I'm going to flip back and forth to the previous week to make sure I know what lesson we're on, double check a few of the curriculum books to even triple check that we're on the right lesson, that one of them didn't go over or I forgot to write a check mark the week before. So I'll just go down these columns for my 4th grader and then my 1st grader and write in all of their individual subjects and double check their workbooks to make sure what lesson we are actually on. And then here I'm moving on to our book shard curriculum, which I do need a little more time on this one to get my bearings because it is still pretty new to us. I take out the week number that we're on for language arts and then for history. And here you see I'm kind of skimming through the lesson because on language arts my daughter isn't really at 3rd grade level, but not really at 4th grade level either. So we're kind of buzzing through it a little bit and hitting the things that she's not super comfortable with and then kind of skimming over the things that she really has down pat. So I decided that she would be able to do 2 different weeks worth of work this week. And then in spelling, I just flip to the next page, write down the page number she's supposed to do so that I have it in my record book and then she can then know what her assignment is for the day. And then over here in the calendar section, I like to be really detailed, and I know this is pretty redundant, and I'm literally writing the same thing every day except for one change. And I rotate kind of, I guess you would say, our beauty subjects on our calendar time. So every time that we do calendar stuff, we go over the actual date, actual calendar work, how many days we've been in school, a fun fact from a book that I have, and we talk about the weather. That's one's really for my preschooler. And then we rotate through things like composer, character traits, a folk song, an artist, and some poetry. I write them down on which days of the week they're supposed to happen, and they never happen on that day, but they're there so that I can reference it. And then I also want to make sure that I have all of my holidays written in, which I didn't for the month, so I went ahead and wrote down Veterans Day for this Tuesday because that's important. And then I'll continue on and write in any of these extra things, so growth mindset and folk story and art lessons. And then right here I'm writing down our rotation. You'll see a lot of flipping back and forth because I still don't have this part memorized, but we rotate through things like nature studies, science, geography, PE, and handwork. And right here you'll see me referencing my very fancy chart of how to correlate the regular Good and Beautiful lessons in our ocean study with the younger Hearts and Hands lessons. I have a master plan of how the lesson numbers will align. Now in this part, you'll see me flipping back and forth to kind of my big calendar at a glance page. I've cut and pasted my guides like the one that I posted a few videos ago for the month of October. I have one for November as well. And this is really my preschool focus. I have a picture book and a short activity that correlates that's really matched up with the season. Now I don't know if we'll get to all of these this week, but my goal is to draw a family tree, make a gratitude collage, explore nature while singing, cook a pot of nourishing soup, and paint gratitude stones to sprinkle around our yard. Now I do not claim to be the most artistic person in the world, probably not even close, but I like a little bit of color some weeks, so I'll just go through with my highlighters and just honestly scribble until it looks a little less drab. And if you are wondering, I made this planner, so I can't really recommend which one to buy or where to get it because I just made this one myself after many years of trial and error. Is a final look at our week for the 2nd week of November. Hope you guys are having a great month, and we'll see you around next time.